Nigeria is a country, it's a federation. You can't have one tiny part of it functioning and everywhere else is not. Everybody, local government, state government, federal government, communities, traditional leaders, everybody should do their jobs.
Are you engaging these people you've talked about, the traditional leaders, the local government leaders? Are you engaging them in your, even as you go ahead with your demands?
You see, we have a singularity of purpose, okay? We are engaging them to an extent, but all these people have been engaged by government themselves. There are many NGOs, there are many civil society organizations, there are many faith-based organizations that are engaging all these institutions. You will find that every step, they are the ones even suffering. They are also suffering, okay? They are still looking for money. What are they going to get out of it? That's part of corruption. And that is why it's such a huge barrier for us to achieve our aim of bringing our girls back. And it's something that we must highlight and address. Now,
this issue of corruption, you've talked about corruption over and over again, and this demands you identifying citizens who have gone missing as a result of conflict, prioritizing rescue and preservation of life in security operations. These are some of your demands now in your government. Is it just in the urban areas you're carrying on with your protest, or do you sometimes go to the northeast to see what's on ground?
I've been to the Northeast, I've been to Maiduguri, I've been to the IDP camps. I've also been active in Lagos. You know, all over Nigeria, we have internally displaced people. Yeah, we're not just talking about the Northeast. So I've been there myself. It is those of us who have food in our bellies, who can afford to get up and say, I'm going to march, I'm going to write letters. It's those of us who have paper and pen, okay? Nigeria, most Nigerians are poor. In those rural areas, even the people who are the farmers, they are scrabbling every day. They need those of us who are privileged, have to fight for them. And when I say privileged, I don't mean rich. We have a roof over our heads every day. That means you are privileged, that you are not afraid. Yes, a robber might come, and armed robbers, yes, they can come and disturb us. But largely, they're not coming to kill us. We're not afraid for our lives. That's privilege today in Nigeria, 21st century. And it should not be that way. We have to fight, because you cannot be the only rich person in your community. You know what's going to happen. We have to make sure the whole country comes up, the whole country has a decent standard of living, and that this government, that we're paying so much recurrent expenditure to maintain them, we are paying them, they are our employees. They must do their jobs. They must keep us secure, protect our lives, protect our property, and look after our welfare. We must demand it from them. If you have an employee, will you just let them do what they want? Won't you make that employee do their job? The government are our employees. Public servants, civil servants are our employees, and we must make sure our employees do their jobs.
You don't think you're distracting them?
Distracting them? We're the ones who put them there. We're the ones who put them there, and they're not doing their jobs. So all these protests, one is communication, two is correction. Communication is correction. We are giving them yellow flag. We gave Jonathan a red flag. Okay? This government right now, we're giving them a yellow flag.
That's where I'm coming to rather. I recall before the elections, your group was also accused of being politically motivated or induced by the opposition then, now in power, the APC, against President Jonathan. And now it's about this government. Quite an interesting vista you've opened up today, this morning. Tell us more, because if you say now you're looking towards good governance and you've tried to link the nexus between the missing girls and good governance and corruption, which is also one of the objectives of this government. It would seem as if you're not satisfied with what you see in governance. I'm talking about you here, the group. Now let's speak to governance, accountability, and the fight against corruption.
Okay. All right, so let's talk about the accusation that the Bring Back Our Girls was politically motivated by the APC when Jonathan was in administration. We were not. We were actually just making demands of our government. And at that point in time, the government was a PDP government. When the PDP government went out and the APC government came in, we made the same demands of the APC government. And we were very happy when Buhari said, we cannot say we have defeated Boko Haram until we've got the Chibok girls. It was as if this government understands what we're talking about and is aligned with our objectives. But over time, as there was no progress made, and we continued to make our demands, we continued to protest, we continued to march, it's as if we became an irritant to the government. That openness and welcome that we had previously, with the APC disappeared because they now understood that no, it's not about the political party. It's about the fact that we are the government in power, and this group is confronting government and making demands of government on behalf of its citizens, as is our right. So what we're doing is not something, who are they, why are they being so rude, they're being disrespectful. No, it is our right and our duty as citizens to make demands of our government. Why do you think the other governments, the Scandinavian governments, the American government are doing better than we are? It's because their citizens don't take nonsense from their government. If the government does something wrong, they will call them to it. They will march, they will protest, they will withdraw their representatives, they will do petitions. We can do it in Nigeria. If you get enough signatures, you can call back any rep, you can call back any senator. We haven't done it yet in Nigeria. That is a failure of us, the citizens. That's our own failure, not holding our government to our account.
Has there been anyone from the government, individual or group, who's attempted to help or render financial assistance to bring back our girls?
No. We don't accept money from government. Government money is budgeted and appropriated. Where we're asking them to spend money, they've already got budgets for those. Those budgets are withdrawn and don't reach those places we're asking them to reach. We don't accept any money. We levy ourselves, to fund all the activities that we do. And there are many members of government, many, in their individual capacity and in their official capacity, that have rendered support to this movement, because they understand that this movement is fighting for the average, the common, the poor Nigerian. It's not only rich Nigerians that, the children of rich Nigerians have been kidnapped. They've all been recovered. All. Godwin Emefiele's wife was kidnapped. They scrambled helicopters and so on, and they rescued her. Is it because our Chibok parents are not rich? That is why their children, no helicopters were scrambled at that time to rescue them. If a poor person's child is kidnapped today, will resources be mobilized to rescue that child? That's what we're fighting for. We're all Nigerians.
Are you working with the police now? Let's bring it to Lagos State, where you superintend the Commissioner of Police. We saw the effort the police made when those young girls were kidnapped in the school, as well as the state government. And now that we're looking at governance and also looking at accountability and action, is there any kind of a relationship between your group and the police in making sure that girls in our schools, children in our schools, on our street, in their homes, are protected?
Yeah, there's no relationship between us and the police like that. The police have their job to do. We will engage with them if we feel they're not doing their jobs. In Lagos State, I have to say, the Lagos State government, executive, the governor's office, the deputy governor's office is responsible for education. They have stepped up and made sure that every single public school in Lagos State is secured, has security. The Commissioner of Police and the DPOs have called private schools in their areas and engaged them on securing their premises. So they are doing their jobs, and we commend them for that.